Thank you.
Senator Capito, great to see you, and thank you for joining us virtually and for your comments. With that, I'm going to ask my friend and colleague, Mark Horner, Senator from Virginia, to introduce Mr. Ullman to our committee. And Mark, you're now recognized. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Capito and anybody else that's listening remotely. I'm actually not here to introduce Professor Ullman, but I want to wholeheartedly endorse him. It seems like he's got a great background. I don't want to take that opportunity away from Senator Stabenow. And let me, before we get to the introductions, I want to...
You're right. Yeah. You're here to
I'm here to get to do Virginians. I got to do the Virginians.
From Virginia. Well, you do those first, and then you can take the handoff from Debbie.
I think I'm here to vouch for Professor Ullman as well. But I also want to say at the outset to the panel of all the witnesses here and their family members, you don't normally get the fact where a chairman comes out and greets everybody individually, and I think that reflects kind of Tom Carper's approach to people in politics, and I'm grateful for that. And I want to thank again Senator Capito and Senator Carper for their many years of leadership on issues like broadband. Shortly, when we get the bipartisan infrastructure bill to the president's desk for signature,
we're just following your lead.
The quality of that broadband from Southwest Virginia or West Virginia or even rural parts of Delaware is going to improve dramatically. So very important. In addition to Professor Ullman, I am here to introduce two individuals who have deep ties to the Commonwealth of Virginia. Amanda Howe, who you guys have noted, has been nominated to be the Assistant Administrator for Mission Support at the EPA, and Professor Carlton Waterhouse, who has been nominated to be Deputy Assistant Administrator for Land and Emergency Management within the Office of Land and Emergency Management. Both of these candidates, I think, would be great additions to the EPA. I'm going to talk about Amanda's professional qualifications in a moment, but I thought I'd share a personal reflection. I've known Amanda for close to 20 years. She is an immigrant. She was born and raised in Canada and came to this country. I know her and her wife, Ellen Qualls, quite well. I actually...
Did you
let me, for the record, indicate that when I became governor, I started a tradition. I got asked, Amanda and Ellen both worked with me, of performing marriage ceremonies. And I helped perform the marriage ceremony between Amanda and Ellen. And they are part of the now 18 couples, one as recently as the last 2 months, that I have married, and not a single couple that I have married has been divorced.
Oh, that's great. 18-0.
18-0, and when you think about the marriage success rates in our country, unfortunately, hey, Senator Ernst, roughly around 50%.
You may want to hang up a new
I have been told that maybe I had to quit the Senate business and go into a little more into the marriage business, but I am... Amanda and Ellen are both dear, dear friends, and Amanda will be a great addition to the administration. She worked for me as Assistant Secretary of Commerce and Trade when I was governor of Virginia. She helped plan and execute events all around the Commonwealth in terms of economic development, in terms of new business orientation, in terms of education, investment in education. She went on to serve subsequent governors, Governor Kane, Governor McAuliffe. As you noted, she's been also worked with Mayor de Blasio in New York. And in terms of operational experience, let me just cite a couple of the things she's done. She directed and ran the whole visit of Queen Elizabeth to the Commonwealth of Virginia in 2007, our 400th anniversary. That literally took months and more than a year. But was a massive undertaking. She helped organize the first ticker tape parade in years for the women's successful soccer team in New York. She also managed Pope Francis's visit to New York. No one from an operating standpoint has more experience than Amanda Howe. She also has this huge commitment to service, to the environment. I cannot think of a person that would be better qualified, and I commend the president for acknowledging her and for nominating her. And to my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, this is somebody who brings a real professionalism to any job she takes on, and I hope she'll be favorably reviewed. Professor Whitehouse, who I just Waterhouse, I'm sorry, who I just had the opportunity to actually meet today for the first time, but it obviously is very highly qualified expert on environmental law. After attending law school, Professor Waterhouse worked as an attorney at the EPA in the Office of Regional Counsel in Atlanta and the offices of General Counsel in D.C. He served as the chief counsel for the EPA during earning three of the administration's most prestigious national awards. He also, you may wonder why, he has deep ties to the Commonwealth. His father worked at Langley Air Force Base as a commissary manager, and his mother worked as a civil servant at Fort Eustis. He grew up in the Newport News area, and my understanding is he may be going back there this weekend to visit relatives. So Professor Waterhouse would bring enormous experience and a critical perspective to the agency at this time, and I wholeheartedly endorse his appointment and confirmation. I would ask my colleagues to consider all three of these nominations as quickly as possible. I think they will bring a great deal of credit to the EPA during these enormous challenging times. We all may have different views at times around some components of the environment, but I don't think there's anyone, in light of the enormous weather challenges that we've seen affecting our country and the world over the last 6 months, that don't understand that climate change is here, real, and now, and we need great professionals in making sure the EPA does its job. With that, Mr. Chairman, I thank the committee for the opportunity to present these individuals, and we'll turn the floor back over to you guys. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. When I was, Mark and I served as governor, not at the same time. I was a year or two ahead of him. And when in Delaware, the governors appoint nominate judges who are empowered to marry people. And the governors appoint magistrates who are empowered to marry people. The mayor of Wilmington was able to marry people. I just thought the governor was able to marry people. My first 2 years as governor, I must have married 12 or 15 couples. And it turned out I didn't have that power. And we never told them. And so they went off in life, and hopefully they're all still married.
Well, I actually thought my, license as to marry people extended beyond governor. Although when I did marry people, particularly when I married him within the Commonwealth of Virginia, I did have a line that said, "And now by the power vested in me in the Commonwealth of Virginia, by me, I pronounce you husband and wife." With that, I will turn back over to the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Mark. I would add,
Chairman, for the record, that's a little scary to me, but I'm just, I mean, I really have a lot of respect for Senator Warner, but I'm just, that's good. I hope all these people are doing well.